Hello, my wonderful students. How are you doing today? Hope you are doing great and hope you are staying safe. Today, we'll continue with the topic Constitution. Constitution. And at the end of the lesson, the students should be able to list the type of constitution, itemize the importance of constitution, mention fundamental human rights, at least 5. And the subtopic we're going to treat includes types of constitution, importance of constitution, and fundamental human rights. Before we start with types of constitution, who can remind us what constitution means? A quick reminder. Constitution is the body of rules and regulations, conventions, beliefs that governs both the rule and the ruled and the ruler. And the types of constitution includes number 1, written constitution. Written constitution, from the word written, that means something that is being written down. When it is being written down, this is where all the laws, the customs, the conventions, the rules and regulations are being jotted down. They are being written down or being documented down in a single document. So this type of constitution is not an offhand constitution. It is handy constitution whereby you record it down, you write it down. Is that taken? Good. Let's move to another type of constitution, which is unwritten constitution. Unwritten constitution. This is opposite of first type of constitution, which is written constitution. This one is unwritten. That means all these laws, these rules and regulations, the conventions, the customs, the principles, they are not being written down in a single document. It's as simple as that. Then another type of constitution is rigid constitution. Rigid constitution. Rigid constitution means something that is static, that cannot be moved, that cannot be changed. You know, like a building. Once you build a building on the ground and it has foundation to the soil, you cannot move it or else you want to collapse it. Now, rigid is as well unmovable. You can't change it just anyhow. You can't easily amend it. You can't say because you are now the president of the country, once you are sent power, all the laws that are rigid there, you can just change it all over. You can just change it at once. No, rigid constitution is not easily amended. And example of those that carried the rigid constitutions, they are Nigeria, USA, France, Australia, to mention but a few. To be honest with you, constitution, some parts of the constitution needed to be rigid so that selfish interests of our leaders will not erode our rights of us. Otherwise, they will make laws that suit their own selfish interests and not consider the masses. The fourth type of constitution is flexible constitution. Flexible constitution. This is another opposite of rigid constitution because it is amendable. You can easily change it without any difficulties. And this kind of constitution, it flows with the trend of change. Take for an instance, let's use our present situation. This present situation, what is the present situation we are facing in the country today? Can you say it? Okay, let me remind you. Is this pandemic, this COVID-19 pandemic, coronavirus, that did not allow people to move freely close to themselves, that did not allow social gathering. And any little contact, there is transferring of the virus. Now, students do come to school to learn, but as this present situation demands, they cannot come, because if they come, it's at their risk. Or is it not somebody that is healthy that can learn, or somebody that is even alive that can learn? So when it is like that, the constitution is being amended that people, students, workers should sit at home, then work from home, learn from home. That is the kind of adjustments, amendments that we are talking about. They move with the trend of the time. It is not difficult to attend. Obviously, we are in jet age, and majority of things is being done that you will not even lift a finger and you get your things done. You will not even move an inch and you get your things done with the head of the computer through the internet. So this is flexible constitution whereby it can easily be amended or it can easily be changed without much difficulties. And to be honest, part of the constitution, some supposed to be rigid, while some will be flexible. That's the actual way of living life in a country. Then let's look at the importance of constitution. Number one, constitution protects the rights of the citizen. Whether you are an old man, old woman, a toddler, young person, either you are a male or female, your sex, the religion you are doing, whether you're a Christian or a Muslim or a traditionalist, your physical appearances, your color, your creed, your tribe, your language, everything, everyone is being protected as a citizen of that country. That is number one importance of constitution. Then number two, constitution separates the responsibility assigned to each organ of the country. Who can remind us the organ of the country? We have, okay, let me give you another tip. The organ of the country is as well as the arms of the country. Can you remember? Okay, let me remind you. We have the judiciary, the legislative, and the executives. The executives are the president, the governors, the deputy president, the deputy governor, the vice president, and so on and so forth. While the legislatives are the senators, the House of Reps, and the judiciaries are the judges, the courts, and so on. All these organs have their different functions. So the constitution separates their responsibilities one from another, so that there will be no interference in the operation of each of their functions in discharging their responsibilities. Then the next one is, it deals with limitations of powers. Limitations of powers. The judiciary, they are made to be independent so that the executives will not be controlling them, in order not to give justice or not to deliver justified judgments. Then it lays down the national goals. The constitution stated the goals of the country. The aims of the country are well stated in the constitution, and constitution states the rights of citizens as well as the duties of citizens. Okay, let's remind ourselves before even we get to the right, let's give ourselves tips of what the rights that the citizen states here. Number one, the right to be alive, the right to own properties, and so on and so forth, because we are still going to learn the rights of the citizens and what are the duties that the citizens are expected to do. Number one major duty is to pay your tax. be obedient to laws, be peaceful, be hospitable, and so on and so forth. Those are the things that is being stated in the Constitution. Then, what are the fundamental human rights that we started talking about earlier? The fundamental human rights, they are well and explicitly stated in the Constitution, most especially our own Nigeria Constitution. These rights include right to life, right to human dignity, right to personal liberty. Before I go to other types of rights that we are looking at, right to life means that nobody is allowed to kill any other person. If you do, you will be killed. That's why they said, do not kill. Even in the Christian way, there is this part of the Ten Commandments that said, do not kill. And the government as well adopted that every citizen have rights to live their life, to be alive in the country. Right to human dignity. The way people are being molested, degraded, Constitution kick against it. And that is why people molest or derogate people at their own risk. If being caught, they will face the law. And right to personal liberty. You have the right to your consciousness, to your conscience. You have the right to choose. You have the right to your own religion that you want to do, and so on and so forth. Then you have the right to fair hearing. You have the right to fair hearing. What is fair hearing? In a situation whereby two people engage in conflict, and the first person have explained what happened, the second person have not explained what happened, the judge have started judging. There is no fair hearing there. But right to fair hearing, as Mr. A has been given audience, Mr. B must be given audience as well. Then that shows that right judgments will now be, dished out. And right to private life. Nobody should intrude into your privacy. You have rights to your own private life, your decisions, to your thoughts, and so on. That's why we say you have freedom of thoughts, freedom of conscience, and religion. You have right to freedom of expression. You are allowed to talk constructively. You are allowed to say your mind out constructively. You can criticize anyways constructively. So you have the right to express yourself. But God has given us wisdom so that you will not, because you have the right to express yourself, then you begin to express yourself anyhow. You coordinate yourself, you highlight your points, you coordinate your points, and you present your points to a meaningful extent. And you have the right of assembly. You have the right to gather. You have the right to be part of any gathering. But for the COVID-19 bills that says that there should be social distancing, not because of anything, but because of your health, because of my health, so that we can stay alive, so that we will not transfer the virus to ourselves. So that's, we have right to assemble. And that's why you see people go to church, people go to mosque, people go to wedding ceremonies, naming, people go to burial, they attend seminars and so on and so forth. They have friends, so many friends. And we have come to the end of the lesson. The topic is a constitution, excuse me, constitution continues, and the types of constitution that we started with, we have 4 types of constitution treated here. We have written constitution. You have to write all the laws, rules down in a single line, in a single document. Then we have unwritten constitution, is the opposite of written constitution. You don't write all these laws down, but they are there. The laws are there. I could remember while I was growing up, they used to take us to our hometown, and at our hometown there was this law that it was not written down. They just said it to us. They just hear it as custom that a particular river that is drinkable is the only drinkable river there. Others are hard water. So if you Yeah, the law is that by 6 o'clock, nobody should be at the stream to fetch water. It's not written down, but it is effective. And so are so many conventions, customs, the way they do their things, that they are being followed, they're not jotted down, but they are there to be effective. Rigid constitution is not amendable. The flexible constitution is highly amendable. And the importance of constitution, it protects the rights of the people, it separates the responsibility assigned to different arms of the arms of the country. Then, not only that, it deals with limitation of powers, it lays down the national goals, constitution states the rights of citizens as well as the duties of the citizen. And what are the rights of the citizens? We are going to treat them, but let's quickly treat the duties, which are to pay tax, to be hospitable, to be peaceful, to obey the laws, and so on and so forth. And the fundamental human rights include right to life, right, nobody can kill any other person and will go unpunished, right to human dignity, you don't degrade anybody just anyhow. If you do and being caught, you face the law, right to personal liberty, to have then right to fair hearing, right to private life, right to fair hearing is there must be justice between people that have conflict or issues to settle. Then right to freedom of thought and conscience and religion. You have the right to choose the religion you want to do. You have the right to your thoughts. You have the right to your conscience. You have the right to freedom of expression. You can talk, you can express your point, but you express it constructively. And you have the right to assemble. Yes, it is your right to assemble. But at this point in time, you just have also the right to leave. So if you want to leave, you must observe the social distancing that the government have commanded everyone to distance yourself from one another so that you will not transfer the virus. We have come to the end of the lesson. The lesson note has been uploaded on the website. Copy them and study them for your exam. Be a good ambassador of the school and be a good child. Stay safe. God, God will be with you and God will bless you. Have a great day. Bye.